There are too many engineers at $150,000, not too many entering the field, too many staying there. The problem is not supply at the bottom, it is accumulation in the middle. What looks like growth is not expansion, it is congestion. The system is not failing to promote people, it is holding more of them in the same place. Over time, what looks stable becomes harder to escape. Now, salary distribution does not spread evenly, it compresses around the mid-range. A large number of engineers cluster between $120,000 and $150,000 and remain there for years. Movement into higher ranges slows down sharply, not because people stop trying, but because the system stops expanding upward. The middle grows faster than the top. Each year, more engineers enter this band than leave it. Over time, pressure builds without releasing. What looks like progression becomes circulation inside the same layer. Movement exists, but it rarely leads out. Now, market demand still absorbs engineers at this level, but it does not elevate them. Companies need people to maintain systems, ship features, and support operations. These roles are stable and necessary, but they are not designed to scale upward in compensation or influence. They are designed to sustain output, not expand it. The system values continuity more than progression at this level. Demand keeps pulling engineers into the middle, but it does not create proportional movement beyond it. The same force that brings people in keeps them there. Now, competition intensifies inside this range without creating differentiation. Engineers with similar experience, similar skills, and similar responsibilities compete for limited advancement. Profiles converge over time. Experience becomes standardized. Output becomes expected. The longer someone stays in this range, the more interchangeable they become. The system does not require uniqueness here. It requires reliability. And reliability does not get promoted at scale. Pressure increases, but movement does not follow. Over time, competition turns into equilibrium. Now, early career decisions compound into this congestion. Engineers who begin in execution-focused roles accumulate experience without leverage. They complete tasks, but do not influence systems. They deliver output, but do not control outcomes. This creates a trajectory that leads directly into the mid-range and stabilizes there. By the time they reach $120,000 or $140,000, the pattern is already set. The path upward is not blocked later. It was never designed to extend much further. Early positioning becomes a long-term limit. Now, long-term dynamics make this problem worse, not better. More engineers enter the field every year, increasing supply in the mid-range. At the same time, automation reduces the need for repetitive development work. This compresses roles that do not scale in impact. The middle expands. The top does not expand at the same rate. This creates imbalance. Over time, congestion increases and movement slows even further. Growth continues, but mostly within the same band. Expansion happens horizontally, not vertically. As this continues, upward mobility becomes less common. Now, positioning becomes the only way out of this layer. Engineers who move beyond $150,000 do not simply improve their skills. They change the nature of their work. They move into systems that generate leverage, such as infrastructure, scale, or revenue-critical environments. They increase visibility and decision-making authority. They shift from execution to ownership. The difference is not effort. It is alignment with leverage. Without that shift, progression slows regardless of capability. Effort alone cannot break structural limits. Now, risk builds slowly inside this range in a way that is difficult to detect. Engineers feel stable because they have income, experience, and consistent work. But stability hides stagnation. Years pass with incremental increases, but no structural change. The gap between them and higher tiers widens gradually, not because they fall behind, because they remain in place while others move differently. The longer someone stays in this band, the harder it becomes to leave. What feels safe becomes restrictive. Now, the system reinforces this accumulation continuously. Companies are structured to keep most engineers operating within this band. They do not need everyone to advance. They need most to remain productive and consistent. Promotions are limited by design. High-impact roles are few. The system does not remove people from this range. It keeps adding more into it. Over time, this creates a stable but crowded layer that rarely changes and rarely opens upward. Final verdict. The problem is not that engineers cannot reach $150,000. The problem is that too many reach it and stay there. The system is not designed to move them up. It is designed to keep them there. Over time, this creates congestion that becomes harder to escape. The result is predictable. More engineers, same range, slower movement. The system does not break, it accumulates, and accumulation does not resolve on its own.